All right, let's take a look at Immersive Reader. This is something that I've put onto our Trident Academy and for the students, their Trident Seahawks accounts. It's usable on the school Chromebooks, and if you're logged in on a Windows or Mac computer into the Chrome browser with your Trident Academy account, then these options are also available to you on your Windows or Mac computer. But again, your browser, your actual Chrome browser, has to be logged in using your Trident Academy or Trident Seahawks account. But for the Chromebooks, you don't have to do anything else. You're already logged in by the nature of being on your Chromebook. But Immersive Reader is a really helpful tool in order for students to take text that otherwise might be difficult to read because of distractions or various other reasons. And it really simplifies it out and gives them some tools to help them in their reading competency. So let's take a look at Immersive Reader and how it works. It actually will work on websites, it will work on PDFs, and it will work in Google Documents and Google Slides. Each of those three ways, websites, PDFs, and Google Docs, have slightly different ways of accessing the immersive reader, because of course nothing is perfectly simple ever, right? But all three of those ways are very easy to get to and are similar, so it shouldn't present too much problem after you or a student has done this once or twice.
A regular website. Here I'm on a National Geographic page about the Great Fire of Rome. All right, so in order to use the immersive reader, highlight the amount of text, whether it's a sentence or an entire paragraph or a whole page, whatever. Highlight the amount of text that you want to use the immersive reader with. Then right click if you're using a mouse, or two finger click if you're using the trackpad to open up the context menu, right, with things like copy and print and that sort of stuff. If you've ever wondered, that's the technical name. It's called the context menu. Towards the bottom of the context menu, you will see the extension called Helperbird. When you hover your cursor over Helperbird, you don't have to click on it and open it, just hover your cursor over it. You'll notice it opens up a further context menu, and down towards the bottom, you will see View in Immersive Reader. Click on that, and it will take the text that you have highlighted and turn it into this Immersive Reader format. So let's do that. Click on View in Immersive Reader. Okay, so now we're in Immersive Reader, and you can see, first of all, that it's just made everything very simplified as far as background images and text for ads and things like that. It is just down to the actual text that I highlighted without any other distractions. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see a green play button, and this will have the text read out loud to you. I actually think the Chromebooks built-in speech-to-text options here at the bottom of the Chromebook screen do a better job, but this is very good, and it is built right into Immersive Reader. So if you hit play, we'll watch it work. Right, pretty good for computer voice. Right next to it, I have voice settings, so I can change the speed of this. Right, to the left, the turtle makes it slower. To the right, the rabbit makes it faster. And I can choose between male or female voice. Just depends on just depends on my preference, what I like the best. Right, all about differentiation here. So those are the play aloud options. In the top right-hand corner, you'll see three different sort of option panels. The first one is your text preferences. The one next to that is grammar options. And the third one is reading preferences. Let's first take a look at our text preferences. When I click on this, it opens up a little side panel. Notice I can change the size of my text, right, just to best fit my needs. If I want to make more space between each line, I can click on increase spacing, and you'll notice it makes much more space between each line. For some people, that is a huge game changer in their ability to read and comprehend. I'm going to turn that back off for right now. I can change my font to a couple different types. All right, here they are, ending with my friend Comic Sans here. And I can also change the theme, sort of the background and text color, right? Let's say I don't like black text on a white background. I can make it white text on a black background or black text on a yellow background. There's all sorts of different options here. It just depends on what suits me best. I'm going to go back to this regular one. Source formatting is really not something you need to worry about, honestly. 99% of the time, that's not going to make any difference to what you see on the screen. If I want to close this side panel, I can click the X up in the top right corner, and it goes away and it's back to my reading. I can click on it anytime and open it back up and adjust my preferences how I want. All right. If we go over to grammar options, here I have the ability to break my words down into syllables. Watch when I click on here. Right, words are syllabicated. Is that a word? Hope it is. By putting a little syllabication dot between the different syllables of the word. Started, enormous. Right, this can really help students that are having some reading difficulties, and it really helps to drive home the OG approach of sounding out these words as you read them syllable by syllable. So this is a nice little addition here. I can also turn on my parts of speech. Right now, it's just nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. Maybe someday soon they'll add prepositions and conjunctions and whatnot, but for right now, just these four. I can change what color I want associated with each one, and when I turn this little slider bar on, notice all my nouns are now the noun color. Right? I can turn this on, and all my verbs are the verb color. You'll notice there's something called show labels. If I turn this on, not only will the different parts of speech be colored differently, now I see a little abbreviation of the kind of word, N for noun, V for verb, that just can help some when going over the grammar of the reading. And again, this can be turned on or off at any point whenever wanted, and the X will close out that menu. Well, now let's look at our third option here, reading preferences. Here, I have the ability to do line focusing, right? What that means, if I turn this on, right, for those of us that get distracted with all the other text as we read and keeping it hard to kind of keep on what sentence or what line I'm currently reading, we do have a line focus tools, and this can go up and down the page as you read. You could do one line at a time, depending on the font size and letter and line spacing that you use. You can also show 3 lines or 5 lines. And notice you can still see the rest of the text. It's just grayed out so that your attention is focused more on the white, bright sort of focus bar area. I'm going to turn that off right now. Picture dictionary. What's interesting about Immersive Reader is if I click on a vocabulary word, right, in the reading, not only do I get a little listen icon so I can hear the word read out loud for me, for a number of words, I actually get a little picture icon to kind of show visually what the word means without distracting the student with more text or a dictionary entry. Now, of course, not every single word has something like this, but you'll be surprised at the amount of words that do have a little picture dictionary entry. But if that's not something you want to see pop up, just turn this off. And now when I click on a word, it just gives me the pronunciation listen icon. Right? So it just really kind of depends on age group or other appropriateness levels on whether or not you want that picture dictionary on. And then finally, if I need the text translated into another language, I can do that as well, and it stays in the Immersive Reader. And now when I'm done with Immersive Reader and I want to go back to the main website, maybe I'm going to click on some links or I want to look at the pictures or whatever, this little exit button, this arrow facing backwards on the left side of the screen, will take me back to the main website version. Now let's look at this with a PDF. Here I am in my Google Drive, and I want to open up a PDF document I've made and use Immersive Reader with it. Now, if you go to More Actions and you say Open With, you see all kinds of different options that you can open a PDF with. You get the same options of opening a PDF if you click on the PDF and you look at it in this preview mode. The weird thing is you don't actually have the PDF open here. It's just a preview. It's just what it will look like once you open it, right? But you'll notice up at the top, there's a little open with button, right? And that's the same options you will get if you click the three dots here in your Google Drive with the PDF. It's the same thing. Now, if you look, there is a open with Helperbird, and you'd think, hey, there it is, easy. But there's a problem, and hopefully this is something Helperbird will be fixing very soon. But if I click Open with Helperbird, looks like it's going to work, and it's going to ask me, what account do I want to connect this with? Well, my Trident Academy account. But then when it loads, it says, oop, error loading PDF, and nothing loads. Now, if I go to the Open PDF button, and I re-find that PDF. And if it's the most recent thing that you've downloaded or saved, then that's real easy. It's under recent. If it's something older, then you're going to have to search for it by name, or you're going to have to dig through to find it. Right? And that's kind of annoying because you already did that part when you opened your Google Drive. But there it is. And when I open the PDF, it opens just fine. And up in the top, there's an Immersive Reader button. Looks like an open book. When I click on it, it turns the entire PDF document into one of these Immersive Reader formats. But like I said, that's kind of annoying to have to find the PDF, open it in Helperbird. Helperbird tells you it can't open it. Then you have to reopen it inside Helperbird, find the PDF that you already found once. That's just obnoxious. So until Helperbird fixes this, I wouldn't recommend just opening the PDF with Helperbird. Instead, I recommend open with and find the program. You should all have it, and if you don't, let me know and we'll put it on your computer, called Kami, Kami. Right, so here, annotate with Kami. This PDF viewer works really well with the Immersive Reader, so I highly recommend it. So we're going to click on annotate with Kami, and the other thing is too is it allows you to edit a PDF without outside of worrying about Immersive Reader. Kami is a great program to let you edit PDFs. But anyway, here we are. Right now that I have this document open, I can do just like I did with a website. I can highlight any amount of text that I want. I can right click or two finger click, find Helperbird, and view in Immersive Reader. And it does the same thing. Now you will notice, however, that the Kami program, it has its little toolbar on the top and on the sides still there. That's okay. It's not really a big deal. The only thing is over that side-facing arrow that we saw that takes us out of Immersive Reader and back to the original document. It's pretty hidden. You can still see the tail end of the arrow there, that little black line, right? But just remember that it's there. And when I click that little black line, that's really an arrow. You just can't see the whole thing. It takes me out of the Immersive Reader and back to the PDF. So that's how you can use the Immersive Reader in a PDF. And now let's take a look at it in a Google document. Here, if I highlight a bunch of text and I do my right click or two finger click on the trackpad, notice I get a different context menu. I get the Google Docs context menu, or Google Slides if I was in Google Slides. I don't get all the regular options I would on a website because it's a different program. So where's my Helperbird? Where's my Immersive Reader, right? For this, in a Google document, you have to go up top to the extensions, right? They are there, says extensions in your menu bar. If you click extensions, and hopefully you have fewer extensions than I do, you will find the Helperbird extension. There it is, Helperbird for Docs. And when I click on it, it loads on a little side panel with some various quick actions. You might have a lot more on yours than you see on mine. That's because I've gone into my settings and I've changed in the settings what buttons show up on my quick action. And you can do the same if there's a lot of options that are just not useful for you. But what you're looking for is this open book icon. It's just a purple background. There's your immersive reader. So if I click on immersive reader, it'll take a second, but it's opening immersive reader. And now here it is, but oh my goodness, right? It's in that small little side panel. That's no good for reading, right? So what I can do is use the full screen mode. It's that two-ended arrow in the top right-hand corner here. If I click that, it takes my immersive reader to full screen, and now I can use all of my various tools and everything and use immersive reader with my Google document. And when I'm done, I can just click that back arrow, the exit arrow, and it takes me back to my main Google document. Pretty easy, but the big thing to remember is you have to go to extensions in order to find Helperbird when you're in a Google document.
Whether it's a website or a PDF or a Google document, Immersive Reader, I think, could be a game changer for students that need a little bit of extra help and a little bit of extra attention to their reading. So I hope this little bit of assistive technology is going to be useful for you in your classroom and with your students. If you have any questions for me, please let me know, or if you need me to come and give you a little extra demonstration or be there the first time you use it with your class, please just let me know, and I'm happy to work with my schedule to make that happen. All right. Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.